All right, folks, you're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. And like I say every week, y'all, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks, you are live with the Godfather. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park, this is how we do it on a Thursday afternoon, folks. I'm waiting on my guests. Like I said a few times in the past, sometimes when you go live, you got a few technical difficulties. I'm waiting on my guest. He should be here shortly. I'm going to hit him up right while we're waiting on him. I think there's him calling me right now. Jazzy Dee.
Yeah, send that link again. For some reason, I'm touching it. It's not. Okay.
All right. I just went live. I'll send it to you right now, sir.
Okay.
All right. There you go, folks. So sometimes things just don't work like it's supposed to. And technology allows you to communicate and not be stuck on the sideline. So let me resend this link to my man one more time while we here live. And y'all fill up the chat room because we're going to have an interesting conversation with a good brother of mine, folks. Good brother of mine. This cat's been around for a while. He started rapping. He was a kid, literally. He'll tell you more about it. Let me get him hooked up right here and get him online. Make sure he can attend the show in person. And we'll bring him on just a second, folks. He got the new link. So stick with me for a minute, folks. You're live with Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. I do this every week, y'all. I do 2 shows a week. One with me and my man, Dusty Vision. And once a week, I do a show where I bring you an old school player. And this is right here. He still look young, but he old school. Trust me. He still look young, but he old school. And this is what I do 2 days a week, folks. When I'm not rocking the French Quarters on Saturday nights. Yes, I still DJ. I still rock clubs. That's what I do, folks. I've been doing that shit for 45 years. I love every bit of it. So, as we wait for my guests to get here, I'm going to kick it for a minute with my chat room. And who do we have in the chat room so far? I see my man, Harley Davidson. West Coast, 6 o'clock today, West Coast time. Yes, sir. Devontae Styles, what's up with you, Doc? Cornelius Rice, what's up with you? Kathy Wims, hey, yo, Lonzo, keep up the good work. Thank you, baby. I sure will. CMW 662. That must be Mike T. The show is the bomb. Hey, folks, speaking of the show, check this out. The show is now on Roku. Yeah, we moved to Roku. The channel is called Homegrown Media Network. Homegrown Media Network on Roku. Okay? You can see some of the old shows. I got the best of N.W.A. stories up there. I got my other show I did in Compton called The Best of Issues in the Hood. And I interviewed some interesting people on that show as well. Those shows are old. They're from back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, but they still have some relevant issues. So if you have Roku, I'll get that word always get it messed up. If you have Roku, download the app. It's free. Download the app. I'm still loading up content. It just went live. The channel just went live yesterday. Okay, I've been fighting with these folks for almost 3 months about getting the right spelling. It's very simple. The Homegrown Media Network. Okay, and you'll see some of my shows on there. Some of my previous shows. Some of my shows look a little primitive compared to where we are right now, but that's all right. It shows the growth in the show. So check out Homegrown Media Network. I'm adding new content every day, folks. I'm just downloaded a documentary I did, a one-man documentary talking about West Coast hip hop. I did it back in the early 2000s, and I think about the early 2000s. That's 20 years ago, and it's still relevant today, folks. So some stuff you can find on YouTube, but it just feels different looking at the content on the television. There's something about that, and we have the same platform as any other channel. So I have documentaries on there. I'll have movies on there. I have best of N.W.A. and I'm soliciting new content all the time. So just bear with me. But in the meantime, spread the word. I want to get my subscribers up as soon as possible. Of course, got to get an advertiser or two. But right now, folks, you can join me on my download on the Roku. It's only on Roku right now. Go to Roku. Homegrown Media Network, folks. That's where we are. Is that the French? That's the French Quarters. Open, my brother in Bellflower. Yes, sir. I'm there every Saturday night. Can't believe when I'm hearing the show. You look mad young too, Doc. Yes, sir, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. What's up, Lady Light? Great content. Thank you, folks. Why? He must have an issue. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on with my man here. Because we shouldn't. Let me see here. Okay. Link ain't working for him. Let me try something else. Let me see here. Share stream. No, we got that already. We had that problem before. Let me try it one more time, folks. We had that problem once before. One thing about these channels, they always changing something. Always these programs, they always making adjustments, and they don't tell us till somebody drills to use it, and all of a sudden we have these kind of issues. We never had a problem before, but all of a sudden now we have a problem, and can't nobody explain it, what's going on until it's too late. But yeah, folks, we are here. I'm kicking it with my man, not Dusty Vision, Jazzy Dee. Jazzy Dee been around, man, for a while, dude. He's been around for a while. And when he told me how old he was, I'm like, huh? But he don't look it. And thank God, thank you. Some of y'all said I don't look it either. Let's try it again. Let's see it again. Let's see where we at. If he's over here yet. I wonder what the problem could be. Let me see. I learned a lot about history of hip hop through your content. I went back to the first video. Oh, thank you, folks. I appreciate that. Anthony Mason, what's up with you, Anthony? Yeah, folks, when it comes to West Coast hip hop, it was 3 people that started all this madness. Me, Unknown DJ, and Roger Clayton from Uncle Jam's Army. And Roger is no longer with us. Unknown don't talk, so it's up to me to tell the story. Yo, Lonzo, did you know Turtle from Santana Block? I can't say I did, Doc. I may have ran across him in the streets, but I can't say I knew him. One thing about me, you'll notice, if I don't know him, I'm not going to try and make up some shit just to say I know somebody. Can't say I did, Doc. Yo, DJ Arthur. What's up, Lonzo? Keep passing on that great podcast. I'm juiced every time you go on. Oh, man, thank you. I appreciate that, folks. I look forward to these shows, too, man, because when you have a wealth of knowledge, you can't interview me and get all my stories and my connections, and you can't do that. I've done thousands of interviews, and they still don't know what questions to ask me. Even when I did my book, this one right here, N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo. When I did my book, this book is 300 pages. When I first did the first draft, it was 900 pages. So there's still 3 books left in the computer. Where is Jazzy? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my man Jazzy. I know it's not a computer. It's not him. It got to be something that this link right here says invite guests. It's the copied link to invite guests. What's up, Lonzo? And the chat room, Rashard. What's up with you, Rashard? What's up, everyone in the chat room? So I like that when folks start just kicking it, because we come here, we get together twice a week, almost like church, and we fellowship on hip hop on a regular basis. And people start to know each other in the chat room. You don't know each other's faces, but y'all become familiar because y'all know who the some of the most active folks in the chat room are. Karen says, I don't know you. I don't know you, but I want to. Directed by Silky. Oh, okay, Karen. I hear my man. He just joined in, folks. I see he's focusing right now. He's getting set up. Gonna bring him in the room. My man, Jazzy Dee, what's up with you, Doc?
Man, that was a whole lot.
You know what, man? Every once in a while we had a little glitches. I don't know what it is. That just started happening in the last couple of weeks. Even Dusty, my other co-host, had an issue getting in once before, but I'm glad you're back, man. We good.
I can't see you though.
I see you fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, all right.
Can you hear me? That's your best shot right there.
I hear you loud and clear.
That's your best shot. Don't worry about me. We got you. You got a good screen. You got a good shot right there. Jazzy, how's it going, man?
I'm hanging in there, man.
You know what, dude? I'm so glad I was able to get you today, dude, because I didn't have a guest for today. And you and I just talked last week, and I was reading my Facebook page earlier, and I saw where you were getting a award. You were both getting awards sometime in October, and he just disappeared. He'll be back. Okay. He'll be back. He'll be right back. Let me see here. What's up, Keith? Let me see here. Poncho, we see you, Jazzy. He just dipped out. What happened? He must have had a temporary glitch. Sometimes it happens like that, folks. No matter how great these phones are, they still are machines, and machines have the right to act a fool from time to time. But don't forget, y'all, please, if you have Roku, download the app, Homegrown Media Network. That's the app where you can find this show, the best of, and we'll be going live from Homegrown Media Network as soon as I figure out how to do it, okay? I'm practicing with it right now. So as soon as we'll still be on YouTube, we'll still be on Facebook, but if you want to just post up at the pad and just watch this show and some other shows that I'm acquiring right now to be on this channel, please feel free, folks. Download the channel. Tell your friends download the channel. It's no subscription fee whatsoever. It don't need nothing. All you gotta do is go to the Homegrown Media Network and download the app. It don't take no space on your computer. And when you want to watch this show, you can go and kick back and at your dinner table and watch the show. Here we go. He's back again, folks. Jazzy Dee, you disappeared in the dark. You was looking good there for a second, boy. Okay, he's still there, but we got a blank screen. I hear him. So this sometimes, folks, this is when you got to be a real player. Jazzy, I hear you, but I don't see you. This is when you got to be a real player when it comes to this technology. Now, some people would freak out and be stomping and crying. That ain't what I do, okay? I'm going to let this technology take care of itself because I know Jazzy's the capable brother. And all we got to do is just be patient. We're going to figure this out. Jazzy Dee, you there? Maybe I should throw him out and bring him back in. Because he's not there. I'm going to kick him out. Let him reboot and get situated. How you think about that? All right, folks, you're live with Lonzo. Can somebody put us in the chat room? I'm driving and I can't take a picture. Can somebody put in the chat room? I'm driving, so I can't take a picture. You see, what up, Art? Ladylike in the house. That's Silky D. Karen Marine says I know Jazzy. We're gonna hey Keith, what's up? Dylan Chase is in the house. Poncho Estrada. Oh yeah. We got folks in the house. We just gotta get Jazzy back here. John Wick, what's up with your money? Out there in New Orleans doing this thing. Yes, sir. I wish I could have made that gig out in New Orleans, but I'll be in Oklahoma on a Labor Day weekend, Doc. I'm looking forward to both of them. I'm coming to New Orleans. I need some etouffee. I need some little bitty crabs. Call it little bitty crabs. Damn it. Hold on there. It's Jazzy right quick. Jazzy Dee.
Yeah, the sound cuts off and stuff. I couldn't hear you.
Let me see here. Are you anywhere? Are you on the internet? You're on the phone, right?
Yeah, I'm on my phone.
You got to go somewhere where you got where you got a good signal. Because I was hearing you fine. I saw and heard you fine.
Oh, man.
But you couldn't hear me.
No, I couldn't hear you.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Let me see, make sure I got the right microphones in here. Test one. Yeah, we all lit up over here. All right, he's going to try it again, folks. Don't go nowhere. We're going to be all right. This is what we do. Sometimes shit just don't want to cooperate. But sometimes those are the best interviews. We had the same thing. Had the same problem with my man Tico Wells a couple of weeks ago. And we had a great conversation, folks. Jazzy just joined back in. I seen. He's moving around a little bit. I'm gonna let him get himself together. I think he got it. Jazzy, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, we got it. We solid. Yes, sir. Crawfish, that's what I'm talking about. Them little crab. I was talking about going to Louisiana, man. Give me to them crawfish. Me and the crew was back in the day, man. And we had a crawfish broil, man. Them little crabs, them little lobsters, they're having a fit. They get to crying and shit. Oh, it's funny. But they was all good. We'll talk about that later on. Hey, what's up with you, Doc?
Man, I finally got in here, man.
I see it, Doc. That's a good shot right there. Don't move. Don't change nothing. Don't change nothing. That's a good shot. The bald head is looking good. The beard is on here. You got some good light on your head, Doc. Let's talk about your career right quick, man. I was telling folks, you've been doing this for a long time, man. You started when you was, what, 12, 13, something like that?
13, man.
13?
13, man.
13. Now, what role did you play as a 13-year-old in the rap game?
Well, really by accident, man. My cousin, we went to juvenile hall, and it was a dude in his dorm that used to rap. And you know how on weekends they get the weekends where they could come home, and his buddy didn't have no family to go to, so he came to our house, and grandmother's house, and he would be rapping, and I'm like, man, we heard it on the radio, but I'm like, man, this dude is nice. So I used to say his raps when I went to school.
Oh, you little bite, man.
Yeah, man, 12, 13. So I started getting a lot of attention, so I started writing my own little raps, man, and it took off from there, man.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that, Doc. What school did you go to? What school did you go to, Jazzy?
I went to Butlong Elementary, and then I went to this school called Westside. I went to Crenshaw Summer School, and I went to a school called Westside. Westside, man.
Where's Westside at?
In Marina Del Rey. It was next to Hamilton High School.
Okay.
It's a magnet, man.
Okay. So how long did you rap? How long was your rap career, man?
Man, I rapped till probably the early 90s. Then I decided it wasn't for me, because I was when I was young, I asked a lot of questions, man. And I guess questions I was asking at that age, I mean, I was a little older from 13 then, but those questions I was asking, people was like, man, they wasn't prepared for those questions. So I knew it was the other path for me, man. And then, I sit down with Dub C, Coolio, and they were like, man, because I would learn things, and I would come to them, and they like, man, you know what? That's right, And I just decided to get more on the business side.
Okay.
I made a few more singles and stuff like that. Then I just wasn't into the traveling and doing that, so I got on the business side.
So you was working with my boy Unknown, right?
And Unknown, big bro, man. I learned a lot just being with Unknown and going up to Macola and seeing how that distribution thing worked when we were pushing the vinyl. So at my age, I was around and learned a lot. The average, teenager that was exposed to what I was exposed to, I was a little ahead of my time being around y'all,
Okay. What was your first song?
My first song, Breakdance Coast to Coast, man.
That was an Unknown song?
No, that was before I got with Unknown.
Okay.
The first record that got on wax and on the radio was with Unknown. Then I made a little 45 called Breakdance Coast to Coast. And the video is when I introduced Darlene to Ice-T. Darlene is actually in that video. Yeah, man.
You made that love connection.
Yep, I'm the one who introduced Darlene to Ice-T, even though she got the story wrong in her book. I'm not mad at her, though.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting, Doc. So you made a historical love connection.
Yeah.
How did you meet Darlene?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
How did you meet Darlene?
Well, we was Ozrock used to date Darlene, and then she used to come to the Radiotron, and then she had a friend that she used to come to the Radiotron with, and then coming into the Radiotron, you get harassed a lot, I guess, as a female. So I used to come out and get her in, because she was cool with Ozrock, but then when her and Ozrock broke it off, she continued coming to the Radiotron, and we just was cool, Just making sure everything was cool. This was a good little friend, you know.
Okay, all right. Now, when you got the guy with Unknown, you had another song. What's it called? Fat Girl? What song did
Whack
you
Girl.
play? Whack
Whack Girl
Girl.
was we were joking. Me, Tony Gonzalez, uh, Tony Gonzalez, Unknown. I don't think Clientele was there, but we was joking, you know, because you remember I was pretty smart with writing and stuff, and
Okay.
was pretty good with writing, real good penmanship. They used to tease me how good my penmanship was. And Fly Girl, that's when all the answer records, even though
Right.
me and Tony Gonzalez, shouts out to Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez had gave me um 15. I mean, he gave me some beats, and I go home and I write. I had songs to all of them, so we were going to do an album. This was
Okay.
before Ice-T did 6 in the Morning. This was before CMW and all them went over there. I was the first artist over there doing stuff, you know, outside of what Unknown was doing. I was the first artist. So Tony introduced me to Unknown, but me and Tony was already working on an album. So
Okay.
Fly came on, and Unknown was like, I was just with Unknown, and then I went home and he called me. He said, "Hey man," because all the answers, Roxanne Shante, you know, all the Roxanne's Daddy, I mean, all that stuff was out. So Boogie Boys came out with Fly Girl, and Unknown was just. He called me. He said, "Hey, write something answering Fly Girl, but in a joking way." And I did it in no time, and we went into the studio, and it was funny because I was with my mother and my brother, and it came on the radio. I'm like, we had just finished it. Russ Parr started playing it on the radio, man. And Russ Parr thought that record was such a funny record, man. And it was a gift and a curse for me because I was really, you know, looking forward to releasing the album that I did with Tony, you know, that we were putting together. Tony had gave me the beats for. I wrote to him, but we never recorded them because Whack Girl wind up. It came out in the summer, so man, I wound up doing shows. It just, you know, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I mean, if it wasn't for White Girl, I probably wouldn't be right here.
Well, you know what, man? The path to your success is never something that you plow yourself. You know, it's kind of fate kind of makes that happen. You know, so I mean, whatever you can do to get in this game, I always tell anybody, man, have fun with it, Doc. That's all. Just have some fun with it.
We had a lot of fun
So
with it.
after you did your thing with the after you did your thing with the with as an artist, when did you decide to get into the music part, I mean, the business part of it?
Well, uh, man, like I said, I asked a lot of questions. Um, I did a song with Quincy Jones' son, QD3.
Okay.
Uh, you know, good dude, man. And I just, you know, the questions flowed again. We did a song. I did a song called "Living in the Ghetto," and that was in the early '90s. Uh, and so I wrote the song. Crazy Tunes, rest in peace. Dub C's brother produced it. So he produced it. He did all the music. I wrote all the lyrics. When we turned the album in, I didn't see no even though I didn't have a publishing company, I didn't
Okay.
really know about writer's credit and all that. But I was asking those questions because I was very, you know, I just was in you know, I just wanted to. I was curious. I'm like, so when I was asking the questions, it went from two of my songs to one of the songs being put on there because then I said, okay, since I wrote the song, shouldn't my name be somewhere as a writer? And it kind of shined it on, gave us our little check for the it was called QD3 in the Sound Lab. You know, no disrespect to QD and that was a good experience, but that's what made me really want to learn the business, you know.
Mm.
So that was pretty much the last. I think I did 2 or 3 other singles, but I don't think they was released. But it wound up coming out, and I guess for me asking the questions, I seen that I was a writer, but I didn't see any of the publishing. So it didn't really. I was still in the learning process. So I'm still because there wasn't no internet. You had to pretty much learn on your own
Right.
trial.
Right.
You know, so they went on and put it out. We didn't get any publishing. You know, so I'm like, me out of that whole crew, I'm asking questions. I want to learn. So then I signed a little situation with Ben Wiseman and Parliament Records. It was a green label called Parliament Records. We did New Girl on the Block and Busting Out. It was a Rick James sample. So
Okay.
then I was more educated on the thing. I don't think that record ever came out because when we had those meetings, I was letting them know, hey, you know, I wrote the song. I know I'm supposed to get publishing, and they wasn't ready for those questions and me being so, you know, I wanted to know what was going on. That record never came out.
Mm.
Yeah, if it
They
came
couldn't
out, I don't know about it.
they couldn't rip you off. So you know that's
Nah.
one thing about the music industry. When you get too educated, they don't want to mess with you because they know they got plans for you already. They figure you don't know, and they're not going to tell you. And if you know already, I'm gonna find somebody a little dumber.
Oh yeah. I learned. I mean, what's crazy, Lonzo, and everybody from in 2021, more people know me as on the business side and management and administrative side. A lot of the youngsters, and I mean, they go to my Instagram and they see I kind of briefly spoke on my history, but they don't even know. They didn't even know that I was an artist because I didn't really speak on it. But you know, I'm writing a book. You know, thanks to you and a lot of people staying on me. You know, Ice-T, he said, man, finish your book because a lot of you don't want, God forbid, anything happen to you and all that information leave because, you know, like I said, no disrespect to Darlene. I read her book. It was a few things if she would have called me, I could have straightened it out for her. But you know, I
You know what?
definitely
That's one thing about this history, man. Everybody has a different well, everybody, but some people have a different perspective, and sometimes one thing can jolt your memory. Say, "Oh, you're right." It happens to me all the time, man. Because some things I just forget about, you know. And I know Darlene. I don't know her that well, but I know it may be something that you could say to her. Remember we did so and so. Oh, okay. And that way she would tell the story because people are really funny, especially when it comes to people. People when it comes to this history. A lot of people think they know because they heard the wrong story so many times. It really it pisses you off.
yeah, but in her case, you know, I because her from what I read, I wouldn't say I was upset, but you got to look at it. Her existence in the industry stems from her getting with Ice-T.
Right.
So the most important part in her book in regards to me, she got wrong. And you know, I reached her and you know,
It's cool. I understand, but
yeah,
it'd been better
yeah,
if it was if it was documented like that.
yeah. So I got to do my book, and it ain't that we competing or anything like that. I got to get that straight because if it wasn't for me introducing her to Ice-T, she wouldn't have been on that album cover. Little Ice-T wouldn't be born, and I'm not doing it to get credit for that. But I mean, if you look, her and Ice-T getting together, they did big things. You know, hey, she's known for being Ice-T's girl, and I made that happen. So, you know, when I read that, when I got the book, that's what I was kind of looking forward to reading. You know, she said that Mr. Animation introduced him. No, me and Hen G, Ice-T came in. The video was called Breakdance Coast to Coast. I wrote in the video. It's only if you go online, you can find the video, but it's a short clip. I
Okay.
wrote her verse to the song because Ozrock was originally on the song. We took Ozrock off, and I wrote her verse, and she did the verse. She didn't even know. She didn't even know Ice-T then. Little Tough, which was he's with Unique Dominoes, and this is the first time I'm really speaking on this. On
I like the history
so
part.
yeah, so DJ Little Tough with the Unique Dominoes. Uh, uh, that morning, I'm jumping around. That morning before the video, I called Evil E and Hen G. I said, "Hey man, if Ice is available, I want him to come judge because we had a scene in the video where Ice, I think Africa Islam, it was somebody else. They were going to be judges. So Evil E, he said, I'm gonna see if I can, you know, if we can make it because they had a few things that they have to do. So we did the first scene and we came off stage. We were drinking water. Mr. Animation had just got there. In her book, she said Mr. Animation introduced him. That's not true because Little Tough came to me. He said, Jazzy, Ice is outside. So I said, oh, cool. He made it. So, you know, I was pumped up because Ice was a person I looked up to back then. Because, you know, that's how I started. I met Ice coming to before it was Club Radiotron. Because this is where we did the video. It was Club Radio. Shouts out to the Glove, Shiny Shine,
Right.
Shiny dudes that I looked up to, the original radio crew. So Ice made it. To make a long
Okay.
story short, he made it. He did his part. And when we came down, I mean, when he first came in, he says, "Man, who was that right there?" Because it was me, Darlene. Animation wasn't even in there yet. And I said, "That's that's Darlene." So he said, "Man, this was about a year or two before he did. It may be longer. I can have my time off, but he was going to do the album, and he said he wanted a female on the cover. This before he even did the album, but he stayed true to his word, and he put her on the cover. I introduced him. When I went over me, and if I'm not mistaken, it could have been me, Evil E, and Henji, but I know for sure me and Henji walked over, and I said, "Hey, Darlene, Ice-T wanted to meet you." She said, "Who?" She didn't even know who he was. So I
Wow.
went over, got her, took her back over to Ice, introduced him, and here we are today. And she's in the position that she's in because Jazzy introduced him, But now that's out there. This is the first time it's out there, this whole story, because animation didn't have anything to do with introducing them, but it is what it is. I don't think she
It's,
meant did it on purpose, but now
right.
the true, and that's how it happened. And Ice-T will even vouch for it. He remembered like it was yesterday. He remembered me introducing him. And then after that, they got tight, they got together. I was going to their house all the time in Hollywood. Me and Ice, we don't talk as much as we used to, but when me and you talk, Henji and everybody, they tell me, man, you've been around us, you've been around a long
Long time,
time.
Doc. Long time.
Yep. So
You know what, Doc? It's important that the story gets told correctly, man. I just think that it's we all getting older. I'm hoping we all live to be 100, but shit, we might get Alzheimer's in the meantime. We still be here, don't know how to tie our own damn shoes. But it's important that the OGs tell their story and tell it correctly, because people will assert themselves in different situations and make themselves, no, he did that. But go ahead.
No, I mean, but you just touched something that really, it used to annoy me, and then you used to calm me down. You say, "Jazz, don't even worry about." You remember I used to call you and you get on me, but that because people don't realize I was around, and then they don't realize how old I am. They think I'm down, and then I call you and you tell me to calm down because the main people know I was around. So I used to get frustrated until I talked to you, or rest in peace, Lonzo. I mean,
Hey, I'm still here, nigga.
No, I meant to say Raj.
Right.
Peace,
Right.
Raj. Calm me down because I used to be like, wait a minute, so and so wasn't there, because you remember, man, I was there, man.
I remember.
Unknown used to have me in clubs, 21 and over clubs. I was always tall, but I was there, man. So. But
you know what I find? I can be on the show. It'd be quiet as heck, and as soon as we start doing the show, somebody start asking my guest questions, or a dog will start barking. Never fails. Never fails. Okay. Anyway, ain't no big thing. Look here, Doc. Man, I had Eve After Dark, Dudo, Skateland. Tell us about Radiotron, man. Radiotron was down there off of Alvarado, if I ain't mistaken. I went there a couple of times, but I didn't go there very often because I had Eve After Dark. Tell us about the vibe of Radiotron, man.
I'm gonna give you the true facts, man, because it's a lot of people, no disrespect to them. I'm talking about the original Radiotron, not the offsprings that came afterwards. Let's make this straight. The original Radiotron, it was called Club Radio.
Club Radio, I remember that.
Ice-T, the Glove, they ran that. And I don't feel that people give Ice and the Glove they respect and they just dues, because it wouldn't have been a Radiotron. Radiotron wouldn't have been popular if it wasn't for the Glove and Ice-T. And they had a whole crew, Shawnee Mac, shouts out to RJ, Shawnee Sean, Shawnee Mac. If I'm leaving out names, because I was young, man, and not Radiotron. I became the MC at Radiotron. I feel like Ice-T passed the torch to me, and I hear all people talking about they rap there. You did not rap at the Radiotron unless me, Antron, or Tony Gonzalez, Tony G, handed you the mic, period, point blank. And I hear a lot of people talking about they rocked the mic at Radiotron. Some people did rock the mic at Radiotron, but they had to go through a certain, protocol. They had to go through some people before you get on that stage, because everybody know every old Radiotron flyer, you see Jazzy Dee on there, and you see Antron, or you see Tony Gonzalez. We ran that stage, and then Tony took over DJing, and he ran. You know, he was the DJ until it closed. But you know, Ice-T, The Glove, Africa Islam, you know, Evil E, Club Radio was the club before it became. Once they filmed the movie Breaking 1 and 2, they start using Radiotron. There's a dude named David Guzman. They did a rap contest. And I was young, so I was getting my ass whooped. Yeah, and sneaking out the house to go to Club Radio. And my mother said, "Man, you willing to get your butt whooped? Just get home at a certain time, you know." So I was going to Club Radio, and this is a true story. Ice in the Glove. One day I came, my guy that took me up there for the first time, may he rest in peace, was one of Ice-T's good friends, Beatmaster Vic. He was a drummer in Body Count. My boy Funky Fresh is a dude named Funky Fresh from New York. They the ones who introduced me to Club Radio. Brought me up there. One night, man, Ice, I kept telling Beatmaster Vic, "Hey, man, I tell Ice I want to rock the mic." Because, you know, I met Ice. We was cool. You know, he'd take me to they had a little snack bar in there, give me some Doritos and a Hawaiian Punch. But yeah, man, I was young. So I said, I want to rap. So one day, man, Beatmaster Vic and Funky Fresh came over to me. My guy Funky Fresh used to drive me up there. He was a little older and he had a car. So one night, man, I'll never forget this, man. They came over to me. They said, "You ready?" I said, "What?" They gonna let you rock the mic, man. The glove. Remember what instrumental it was? Ice gave me, and we've been cool ever since, man. I got up there, and that's the birth of Jazzy Dee, really, because I used to go to Hollywood and go little places and rap, but Ice let me rap on the stage, man.
When you and Radiotron open up, somebody in the chat room want to ask. That's Art. He wants to know what year did Radiotron open. You remember?
You know what? I'd say Club Radio, the end of 83 to the beginning of 84, whenever the movie Breaking came out, when they finished filming Breaking, Ice had pretty much stopped. It was a little incident I won't get into because I heard different stories about that and I won't speak on that. But it wound up, Ice left and stopped. They stopped going there. I heard different stories, but I'd say end of 83, beginning of 84, because I remember I had stopped. I had missed going to radio a couple of weeks, probably a month, and then when I went back, it was different. You know, Carmelo and a guy named David Guzman and some heavy-set black dude. I forgot his name, but they were running it, and then they had I went up there and I'm like confused because Ice had it way different. The club, you know, because there wasn't a lot of people in there, and I'm like, "What's this?" Because, you know, I was a youngster from Club Radio. And I wanted to make that clear because a lot of people think I came around when it was Radiotron. Shouts out to Fantasy, Diesel, the Unique Dominoes, Shake City Rockers, the original Shake City Rockers, you know, the radio crew. But when I went back, it wasn't Club Radio anymore. I didn't see none of the OGs. And they said Ice wasn't there anymore. So it was a guy named David Guzman on the mic, and Carmelo Alvarez was kind of running it. So I want to jump through all the hurdles. I won a rap contest, and David Guzman was like, "Man, you know, I need another MC up here rocking with me. You know, would you like to rock?" I said, "Yeah." So that that's probably the second week Radiotron was open till it closed. I was the MC. Let's make that clear. But thanks to David Guzman and Carmelo, they let me be the MC, and I was the one going in Compton, Long Beach, Pomona. I was going everywhere passing out flyers, man. So a lot of people from South Central, Pomona, that heard about Radiotron back then was because of me and my cousin. Well, it was a good friend of mine. I called my cousin. We went everywhere passing out flyers, introducing people to the club Radiotron, you know, and that's pretty much how it happened. And a little bit after that, that was in the 84. I know it's around 80, into 83, 84. I could be a little off, but until it closed, I was the MC there. That's why if you go on my Instagram page, you see all them old flyers because there's people saying they rock the stage and all that. You see MC Jazzy Dee, and it's a lot more flyers that we didn't put on there. But then Tony Gonzalez and Greg Mack kind of start taking over the club after Antron had did his thing, and Tony took it to a whole new level because then we had radio commercials, and I was the one rapping on the radio commercials. Tony had me rapping on the Mixmaster show on Fridays. Man, I love that dude to death, man, because he introduced me to Unknown. He's the reason why I was the first rapper I want to say in history, unless I do my research. I rapped at the San Diego Cool Jazz Festival. I came out
What?
yeah, man, right before Patti LaBelle. Thousands of people, man. So I was the first MC to rock the San Diego Cool Jazz Festival, man.
I didn't know that, dude. I didn't know that at all. Now, you know what? I'm sitting here thinking about something, man. I remember one time I came to the Radiotron. Tony G had somebody hanging him out the window.
Oh yeah, oh man. Hey, I know the person. I'm not gonna say who it was, but
Tony G. I said, Tony, what you doing, man? Oh, Lonzo, he did something. I don't know what he did, but he's like, I'm gonna throw him out the window. Tony, I don't want to witness that.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. That's why I got so much respect for him. You hear these war stories. You know, I mean, sometimes the stories is true, but I firsthand one night, and this is true. You can ask Tony. One night, I think we were doing a rap contest. Tony was playing the instrumental, so I was calling out the next rapper. So this dude kept jumping on stage. Big dude, kind of bigger than me. So you know me, Alonzo. I was like, get your, off the stage. So Tony said, if we got him off twice. Well, I did. So he jumped up there like a third time, and he bumped Tony's equipment. That's one thing you did not do, man. And I seen this, and Tony, if he sees this, I was there. Man, Tony grabbed, and this was a brother. He kept jumping on stage, and Tony, you know how Tony's real. You take a lot to really upset.
Take a lot to piss him off. When you piss him off, you're in trouble.
Hey, man, that dude. When I say big bro, I can say it. That dude jumped on stage again, and Tony politely left his techniques. Went over, grabbed the dude by the top part of his shirt and the lower part of his buckle. That's probably what the day you're talking about, and took his ass to the front. And that's a nice little walk from the stage to the front of the Radiotron, and had him hanging out the door and threw his ass out in the street, man. Yeah. And the dude was hollering all this little gangbang stuff. Tony he didn't have no bodyguards. No, he didn't travel with a whole lot of people. And I was a little nervous because I'm like, man, this dude might leave and come back. Dude never came back. Because threw his ass in the street and went back, and we continued with the rap contest, and that's a true story.
See, I might have been there. I came up there, man. I'm like, Tony, what are you doing, man? Lonzo, I got it covered. Don't worry about it. No problem, Tony. Hey, man, somebody, Derek Mallory asks, did you or Ice-T discover Kid Frost? He must be talking about me. I didn't discover Kid Frost. Kid Frost. When I started touring with World Class Wrecking Crew, Kid Frost was on tour with us. Okay, Maybe Ice-T had something to do with his career. I didn't. Okay, all I know is he's been one of the coolest cats I've been knowing since we hit the road back in the '80s.
They did hang out. I would say I don't want to put the wrong information out there, but he was around Ice a lot.
Right. Right. In fact, Unknown worked with you. He worked with Ice-T. And also Kid Frost.
Spade. Yep, yeah. Kid Frost, Mixmaster Spade, Toddy T. He worked with King T. Man, he worked Dezzle Daz. He worked with he brought N.W.A. Compton's Most Wanted. But and that's a beautiful thing too. That's another reason why I want to finish my book. I was the first MC over there, and then Ice did 6 in the morning. Mixmaster Spade, King T came. By that, when they start coming in, I wanted to learn the business. Because I never thought Unknown was keeping anything from me. I don't think people was prepared for the questions that I was asking so many years ago. I'm like, wait a minute, and this is a true story too. What's up, Dr. Dre? When I figured my record was on the radio, I didn't know the business, but I thought since Russ Parr, Greg Mack, they playing the hell out of Whack Girl on the radio, I was a little upset because that's me and Akil from Jurassic 5. We spoke about this. I was upset that record did as good as it did. They played the heck out of it on the radio. So when I go to school, and mind you, when that record was really blowing up, I was still getting on that 108 bus going to the yeah, people like, what are you? I'm feeling out, because Unknown would come to my grandmother's house and give me cash. Okay. I thought, hey, I get paid. So Dre, I hope Dre see this. Dre told me about a guy named Steve at the Rhodium swap meet.
Okay.
So he said, get, a box. Remember, they used to give us a box of 50 and 25. You get a box of 50 vinyls, or 25. N.W.A would come to my grandmother's house because Dre told me that, just get your vinyls and I'm gonna introduce you to a dude at the Rhodium swap meet and he'll let you sell them and you can autograph them. That's how I met Steve. I heard he passed away. Rest in peace, Steve. But so me and Dre on the weekends, and I think some other days Dre would go up there, but I can only go on the weekend because I was still a teenager. So I would go up there and Dre made cassettes with our songs on it, and there was a few other DJs that would come up there and leave their stuff on consignment with Steve, and Steve would let us come up there and sign our little, because that Techno Hop cover was a unique cover.
Right.
So I'd sign Jazzy Dee on it, and that's how I made extra money selling the when N.W.A would he'd give me about 5 or 6 boxes of the 25, or he'd give me a couple of boxes of the 50 when he came to pay me. That's why I had no animosity or nothing towards N.W.A because he taught me how to hustle. He introduced me to things that come on, man, 12, 13, 14 years old, man, around you guys at that age and just experiencing when y'all used to go up and handle business with the guys at McCullough. Those are treasures I will never forget, So Dr. Dre introduced me to Steve up at the Rhodium, and that's how I made extra change and wound up getting me a little car, and that's some true shit that people don't know. Like, we had to really hustle and go up there. Wasn't no internet, man. We went up there selling our vinyls. I go to different little clubs on the weekend with my little record. I worked the record, but I just got more. I made a few more records after that, and I just was really serious about the business side of it.
Now, you didn't have nothing to do with Kid Frost being discovered, right? We just asked that question. Because I thought he was talking about me at first, but he just clarified in the chat room he wasn't talking to me; he was talking to you. So no, because I see. I mean, Kid Frost he's my age, so ain't no in the world he could have had something to do with that.
No, I didn't have anything to do with that at all.
Jazzy, do you have any recollections of Rappenstein and McCullough?
Man, I don't know if he was at McCullough, but I know Rappenstein did. Me and Rappenstein still cool. I still talk to Rappenstein. I don't remember him. I know he did some stuff with Quest Records, him and his brother. They won that's a K-Day, the big rap contest, and they did. Is
that Rappenstein in Style?
Yep, that's Rappenstein in Style. I don't talk to Style. I still talk to Rappenstein off and on. He does. He wound up make some jazz albums.
Did he really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, man. It was a lot of cats, man, back in the day, doing that hip hop heyday. A lot of cats that had big names back then that you won't hear about no more at all. And Rappenstein and Style is one of those guys. Some of those guys. I'm gonna have to look him up, man.
Yep, I talk to Rappenstein all the time. We don't talk as much as we used to, but we still in contact. Me and Rappenstein the same age. We're a couple of weeks apart with our birthdays, same exact age. But me, Rappenstein, Spoonie C, they used to rap with Coolio.
Right.
Remember Roy Kaufman, before we really start, I was already kind of known from with Tony and N.W.A and making those records. Because remember, those records I was making was before 6 a.m. Right. I don't get the credit. Songs was corny, but before Compton's Most Wanted, before King T and everybody went over there, I was over there penning, writing. Because N.W.A was like, man, you're a smart little dude, and then I was always wanting him to pick me up and I wanted to be around you guys, So these are stories I've never really spoke on. And I sometimes forget when I'm talking to you or I'm around Ice-T, if I'm speaking, they like, wait a minute, man, you forget who you talking to. Because I'll be feeling like I got, but I was there. And,
go ahead.
No, I'm saying, so even though the records I made, I used to had a lot of animosity towards that, but it took me to do that to get me where I am today.
Well, but let me tell you about that situation, man. Being a West Coast pioneer, having a label, didn't know what a label really meant. I didn't know what it meant to have a label. Back then, there was no YouTube University. Wasn't nobody telling us nothing. We was all a bunch of hustlers that was just changed product. We went from giving dances, or some of us kept giving dances, and just started making records also. So once we figure out, okay, it costs us $1 to make the record, I'm selling it for $2.50 or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna give everybody 50 cents or whatever the deal was. We didn't learn about publishing and writers and shit, man, till long after I got to CBS. Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know what publishing was. So I got to CBS. So it's easy at that time not to be compensated or not to be taken care of the way we all eventually learned what the right way to do it was. Okay, because again, wasn't nobody giving us no music lessons, wasn't no seminars, wasn't no YouTube university. We was out there just a bunch of cats just trying to get a hustle on. We go to drop records off at VIP, pick up a check, give like you said, you get cash here, man. Here goes some money, okay? And there was no statements because we was paying, we was selling them, we was getting them for cash, selling them for cash, and that shit, everybody was just hustling, dude. And it just made for a different time. And wasn't until later on we realized, oh shit, we got to do this right here.
And big bro, they still working us though. And see, this is another reason why I'm so blessed that I experienced what I experienced coming up with you guys, taking me up to Macola Records, seeing that scam, and a lot of people don't listen. You know what I'm talking about, because I'm one time Unknown took me up there, and I know when he see this, that boy got a good memory. We went up there, and Unknown, I forgot I won't say that the heavy set Caucasian guy that used to always, we had the office over to the side. Unknown was talking to him. Basically, we found out what they were saying they was pressing up was far different from what they was really pressing up.
Oh, well, oh yeah.
So he's saying, okay, you got this in Texas, you got this in there, but okay, how is 2,000 and 3,000 of these records is in Japan or over here? So we found out, we were getting worked. And once again, even in today's music, I've learned the game to where I know the tricks and the trades, and it hurts me because my only existence today is educating people because I made records. I didn't know about publishing. I didn't know about, mechanical royalties and all that. Now you got all these different,
sound exchange and
you got
Harry Fox and all kind of other shit you have to deal with.
Now there's no reason for us to be in the position that we in as far as ownership of our catalog and all that. But most artists want to be famous. They don't want to be successful. Like on my Instagram page, I don't post me at a restaurant taking pictures of my burrito or at a car wash. I only speak on something that when you leave my page, it's going to leave you thinking or say, man, you're going to probably go to your manager and ask him a few questions because I had records on the radio. I did shows and didn't really know the game. But here it is, 2021, and you can stand next to a person and ask them a question, and they'll have too much pride because of all this materialism. They want to be known. They want to be famous. They don't want to be successful. So to hear an artist that got hits on the radio, to hear an artist that done traveled the world, tell me his stuff is copyright through his PRO. He copyright his songs through his PRO. I'm like, no, your performance rights organization, they don't copyright your music. You got to do that through copyright, .org. And their manager, these guys are known, people. I won't say names, but here it is, 2021, and you got guys saying that hits on the radio. They got too much pride. You standing next to somebody that really know the game. Don't tell me ASCAP copyright your songs. But like I said, I post this stuff all day long, and you think I don't care about likes, I don't care about followers, I don't care about none of that, because what I'm dropping is real stuff. You talking about a guy that been in the game for a long time, and we're still in a state of emergency with the black box royalties. There's hundreds of thousands of rappers and singers that's putting out music, and when you put out music that's not copywritten or registered, it goes into what they call black box royalties. So it sits there, and here it is. And I know a lot of people don't like me giving this game, but how many artists do you think it is that go in their studio, that's in their room, do 15, 16 songs? They're so anxious to put it out. They put it out unregistered. They don't know what Harry Fox is. They don't know what Sound Exchange is. They don't know how to properly register the song. They think they are entitled, if a person produced it and they wrote it, they think they're entitled to 100% of the publishing. They don't know how to, thank God. I won't say I'm against it because this is how, I'm helping a lot of these cats and I'm getting paid for it. But it's sad because you got people like me and a few other people that's really stressing. Stop putting out unregistered and uncopyrighted copywritten music, and the majority of the people that's putting it out have managers. So this showing you we have a serious problem when it comes to artist representation when when there's so many rappers and singers that's putting out unregistered music and it's going in the black box because those streaming platforms are owned by these labels. So that's a conflict of interest, but nobody's speaking on it.
Jazzy, I get really, 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 really frustrated when somebody 20 years old telling me about how he got an artist. And I look at him and I ask him a couple of questions, like you probably do too. And you can tell by the answer to the question, the fuck you talking about, okay? But again, like you said, everybody wants to be successful and play that role. I got this artist, I got that artist, I'm managing this person, I manage this person. But ain't none of y'all business taken care of. You managing for label, for appearances only. You talk a good game, but when all the smoke is said and done, what are you really doing for the artist? Fuck the goddamn Instagram. Where the money at?
Well, you gotta look at it like this too, big bro. I was blessed to be around you guys. I know the true essence. I know the true culture. I know when the world class wrecking crew is performing somewhere. I remember getting dressed, putting my cologne, my Paco Rabanne cologne on it, and coming. What I'm saying is, today, the managers are, no disrespect to the real managers, no disrespect to the managers that know their role and they don't have titles, but I'm just keeping it real. The majority of the managers I bump into that don't know me from Adam, when I stand next to them and hear their conversation, they're living vicariously through their artists. That they probably put out records and wasn't successful. Anytime your manager want to walk the red carpet with you, and if your artist is doing an interview and the manager want to intervene and say, jump in, and when your artist, I manage groups. I've never been on stage with any of the artists that I represent ever. Because if we out of town or if we on stage, I want to know who's a promoter, who's a radio personality. I'm passing out my business card. I don't have time. I see them perform and rehearse their stuff. But you see a lot of these managers, they want to be just as famous as the artist. And those are people that I stay away from, because as a manager, our job is to look out for the best interests of the artist. And it's very few managers doing that. They can get mad at me all they want, but I'm getting sick of seeing managers taking their shirt off with the styrofoam cup, lip singing the artist song and on stage. No, your job is to be back there building relationships. Your job is to
how do you feel about mixtapes, man? I know the answer. I know the answer already, but say it again.
I hate mixtapes, but now mixtapes is pretty much a thing of the past. But I was an advocate against mixtapes. And rest in peace to Nipsey. Every time I had a conversation with Nipsey, I used to tell him, build value in your product. If you're giving it away for free, then he was like, man, I won't even get too deep in, because may he rest in peace, man. And he was a true businessman. But a lot of artists back in the day, remember, Lonzo, I used to get on stage and speak on panels, and the whole crowd used to be against me. Well, sometimes you got to give away. But hip hop was the only genre of music. If you go to a jazz concert, if you go to a gospel concert, if you go to a rock and roll concert, they all had merch booths and they were selling their stuff. Hip hop was the only one. And there's people to this day that don't agree with that. They like, man, a lot of people did get known for giving away mixtapes. But once we got into the understanding of the business side of it, you give away a few to eventually sell them. Right. Because I never understood the mixtape concept. You pay for a feature, you pay for the cover, you pay to duplicate the CDs, you pay for the outfit to take the cover, the picture, artwork and all that. So you $1,500-$1,600 into your mixtape to give it away for free. I never was with that, and I'm still not with it, because there's so many ways to generate money off your content. Give away a single or something like that, but but now mixtapes is pretty much, with this internet and iTunes, Spotify and all that, they doing different stuff now.
Okay. My man, somebody asked me, do you have any DJ Mug stories?
Oh man, check this out, man. Hell yeah, I do, man. And as you see how excited I got. So check this out, man. Dub C and Crazy Tunes like my little bros. So back in the day, Muggs, somebody whoever asked you that know this, that they know I'm gonna go to tell this story. So Be Real, Sin Dog, Muggs, was okay. I'm bouncing around because I'm excited. But Muggs, DJ Muggs, and DJ Aladdin, back in the day, they had an apartment together. And this history shit. This real historic shit.
Okay.
This is a book, man. So they had an apartment together. By that time, Muggs had just stopped dealing with the group 783, and he got a situation for Cypress Hill.
Okay.
And Dub C and DJ Aladdin got their situation with priority. Aladdin was getting his name out there, winning DJ contests. So they had a place in Hollywood on Kingsley. I don't remember the exact address, but it was on Kingsley. They had an apartment, 2-bedroom. So
Okay.
just that first Cypress Hill album was made in one room, and that first Low Profile album was in another one. I was there every day. We did the pre-production for the Low Profile album on Kingsley up there at the
Okay.
apartment. So on our intermission, me, Be Real, and I mentioned this at a show, and Be Real was like, "Yeah, I remember that." But see, I look older. I had a jury curl in, but on the intermission, we hit the living room, and this was MMA before MMA, man. We body slammed and was slammed, and man, I felt bad for anybody that lived underneath us there. But on intermission, after they making those classic albums, we would be in the living room wrestling, man, and choking each other out, man. I'm talking about serious business. Me, Aladdin, Dub, Be Real, Sin Dog. I don't remember if Sin Dog participated, but it was just our whole little crew, man. We'd eat, get pizza, a lot of the. Then we learned the game from Prince Whipper Whip. What's up, Prince Whipper Whip? Prince Whipper Whip lived in that apartment complex, and a lot of dudes from New York used to come there, and they educated us, man. Listen, this in the 80s. This before the 90s. But I know when Be Real see this, they know. But see, I had a jury curl and all that, but we'd have some of the best wrestling matches on the intermission when they was making them classic albums, man.
Wow.
Real
That's crazy.
Kid Frost,
That's crazy.
He didn't play in the wrestling, but Kid Frost would come up there. Ice T. It's a trip. Muggs and DJ Aladdin had an apartment on Kingsley up there, and I was up there damn near every day, man. That's true shit. Like while we was in the making the album, doing the songs, paid dues and all that was on that first album, man. We wrestling like a motherfucker, man, in that living room, man. Cypress Hill, they crew, and us, the Low Profile crew, man. Classic shit, man. I'll never forget it, man.
My man says, N.W.A says, Whipper Whip, Cass, and Special K were all on Kingsley.
There you go. Hey, see, I'm forgetting names. That was so long ago. But when I say education, Whip used to take us out on the balcony. And, I to this day, I don't drink or smoke. So sometimes they get the smoke on, and I would go on the balcony, and Whip used to educate me, man. I mean, and I was all ears because I'm a true hip-hop connoisseur, man. I mean, if I was getting it from Ice would tell me stuff, and then Whipper Whip, man. Yep, Cass. They used to take us out. I was the main one out there because I didn't drink or smoke.
Okay.
And they take me out there and give me game, man.
Okay.
Educate the parties and stuff in New York. Prince Whipper Whip, man. I love that dude to death, man, because he used to take me out there and give me so much history on this shit, man.
My man says he wants me to tell you this is the Imperator.
Oh man, Imperator used to rock the radio. That's another dude that hey man, rock the stage with me. I give him the mic. Imperator, man, that good dude, man. Imperator's a G. What's up, man?
He's a what? You broke up.
I said, tell him I said, what's up? That's
he right there in the chat room. He been here for a minute. He called himself Empty Great now.
Yeah, that's a good guy, man.
Real good dude, man. Real good dude. All right, man. We've been here for about an hour, dude, trying to get it all together. But we got a nice little interview, man. I appreciate that, Doc. The dog stopped barking and everything. Shit, we rolling. We rolling.
I know.
Hey, man, look here. Go ahead.
No, I said somebody had just sent me a text. I didn't say that I was the granny on Dub C's albums. He said you forgot to mention the granny was 10 times bigger than Jazzy Dee. They not lying, man. That granny character I did on Dub C's records, man, that took a life of its own, man. I
Did it
wanted to say that. Yeah, the people don't know the where you at on the Boost Mobile I mean, the ringtones, man. Those shouts out to Crazy Tunes, man. Rest in peace, man. I was calling in on Russ Parr's show, me and Daryl with the curl, and
Girl with the curl.
yep,
Damn.
yep, and Crazy Tunes just loved that character that I used to do, man. We did it on mixtapes. I mean, it took
Can you still do the character?
I mean, I still do it. I don't do it as much as I used to, but I
Well,
mean,
let us hear what Granny talking about. Sound like a 2021, man.
but I'll just say this. I'll say what made her super famous.
What was that?
Where that nigga Dub at? That nigga owe me $5. I put that on the set. Ain't no pump. I mean, we was joking and man. On
And do you have a website?
website is under construction. I changing up some stuff. I closed my Facebook. I'm revamping everything, man. But I got up the Instagram too. This just Jazzy Management.
Jazzy Management, folks. How you find them on Instagram till they get the website back up and running. Anything you want to say to the folks before you leave, man? Before we wrap this interview up,
man, I want to say this, man. It's very, very important to managers, singers, rappers, producers. The way the music industry is set up today, man, we got a lot of control, but we're still hurting when it comes to registration and just handling the business. Copyrights. There's so many guys out there that they'll spend money on their habit. They'll spend money on material things before they spend money on their careers, but they want to walk around and look like they're famous. But I'm in the game and I know better and I know the business. It's very, very important for you guys to learn to register your music before you put it out, because it's other people benefiting off our hard work. And I'm a frontline soldier. I don't care what nobody say. They can say whatever they want to say about me. My existence in this game from when I started to now is to understand the business side of this game, because too long other people are benefiting off our hard work. And today we have billions of dollars in black box unclaimed royalties. And I don't care what nobody say. A lot of what you're seeing on social media is smoke and mirrors. Them guys, these you youngsters out there that's getting in this game, if you want to get into the game to be famous, follow what they're doing. If you want to get in this game to be successful, register your music, learn copyrights, learn what royalties are. ASCAP, BMI are performance rights organizations, and they do not administer mechanical royalties. Learn what Sound Exchange is, Harry Fox. I know we don't have a lot of time, but it really hurts me to see these guys out here still faking it till they make it and posing with prop money and somebody else's jewelry and driving somebody else's cars, when if you follow the right directions and handle your business right, you can have all that. That's all I want to say. It's very important to learn the business and stop putting out unregistered and uncopywritten music because somebody else is benefiting from it. Peace.
All right, man. That's my man Jazzy Dee, man, a.k.a. Jazzy Dee from Jazzy Management. Man, thank you for taking time out to interview with me today, man. Thank you for all the knowledge. The chat room is lit up. We got 33 people on the line. I ain't got nothing but good things in the chat room saying much love for the interview. Everybody loved what you said, man. Love what you did. Thank you for hanging out with me, dude. Tell Dub C I said what's up. I want to get him on the show one day soon, too.
Definitely.
All right. In the meantime, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop, from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between, folks. This is how we do it, y'all. We out here till Tuesday. See y'all there. Peace.